Wow, what a crowd. Thank you to the AgriFutures team for inviting me along to see all of you today and to let me speak. In particular, I want to thank the Honourable Mick Veitch and Brianna Casey for their enthusiasm, their passion and their drive as they've shown for our agriculture sector over the years. I also want to acknowledge the former Chair, Cathy McGowan, who's also here with us today. It's my great pleasure to be here with you here in Melbourne, and indeed this major event in our agriculture calendar. This is my second evokeAG. I was up in Brisbane last year and Assistant Minister Chisholm did the opening address, but it was terrific to be there, and there's no better place to start than to be here with you today. These 2 days, as you already heard, are more than a showcase of world-leading innovation. They're an opportunity for around 2,000 leaders from across our agriculture, technology, public policy and science industries to collaborate on the challenges and opportunities that we have before us. All of us here in this room today have the same goal. We want to see our agriculture industry go from strength to strength. We want to see our farmers produce more of their world-class products, which communities not just around Australia, but around the globe rely on. And we want our farmers to continue doing what they do best, more efficiently, upholding their reputation as global leaders in sustainable agriculture. These priorities in diversifying our trade, strengthening our supply chains and boosting the resilience of our farmers and producers are priorities that the Albanese Labor government is proudly backing. Each of these priorities can be spurned on through collaboration. And the need for collaboration was at the heart of the Productivity Roundtable that I held last year in Brisbane with industry, because it's key to unlocking more productivity gains in our agriculture industry. This important discussion was part of our government's Economic Reform Roundtable and will continue to help shape our government's policy approaches, given the key role that we know agriculture plays in our nation's economy. And I know farmers and producers already have a good story to tell. Agricultural productivity continues to grow faster than the broader economy, with increased uptake of innovative tools and technology a large part of this success. The Albanese Labor government is proud to be backing this, with billions invested across a range of programs to support our farmers, our producers and our agriculture industry to adopt innovative practices. But our farmers and producers have always been world-class innovators. As the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, I have the great privilege of travelling around our country and seeing the extraordinary things people in our ag sector are doing firsthand. Farmers know they don't have to reinvent the wheel, but they certainly recognise the benefits of drawing on technology and scientific advances to monitor and boost their production, to manage their resources more efficiently, and to target pests and diseases. And that's what evokeAG is all about. Forging stronger links between research and industry and helping to connect farmers and producers to new innovations that we can all benefit from. That's why I'm pleased that our government is continuing to support this important event for the next 3 years with $450,000 in funding. When our farmers innovate, we all benefit, as does our food security, our trade, our biosecurity, our environment and our economic growth. As of those of you in the room today who are around would know that we've committed to delivering a new national food security strategy, Feeding Australia. While Australia has a world-class food system that feeds people both here in Australia and abroad, we cannot afford to be complacent or to ignore the new and emerging challenges facing our food and supply chains. So much of what you do already prioritises innovation, whether that's more efficient irrigation, autonomous machinery, or developing disease-resistant crops. The importance of this innovation and the need for continued efficiencies at every stage of the supply chain cannot be underestimated. This was identified as a key priority in many of the 408 submissions that we received last year on the Feeding Australia discussion paper. I'm pleased that the next phase of consultations of co-design of Feeding Australia is progressing. The first of a number of industry workshops is being kicked off this week and will be run through to the end of June. I'd encourage those of you who are here today to continue to provide your input and your expertise into this strategy. I mentioned some of the innovative products and projects underway across our industry when it comes to food security, and this is something that our government is proudly investing in. Our more than $300 million Climate Smart Agriculture program is helping farmers adopt practices that reduce emissions, improve soil and biodiversity health, and build resilience to climate impacts. As part of this funding, I had the opportunity to visit Project Ag Resilience last year here in the Melbourne Food Bowl, a project bringing together landcare networks, primary industry groups and local governments to deliver on-farm trials, including on sustainable food practices, biological fertilisers and targeted planting. Through our over more than $500 million that we've invested in the Future Drought Fund programs, we're supporting farmers and regional communities to adopt new technologies to boost drought resilience so they can continue to produce the products that we all love. As part of this, we're investing in transformational cropping, grazing and mixed farming practices. And of course, our government is also progressing the National Bioenergy Feedstock Strategy, which is backed by more than $1 billion in investment. This will help unlock the vast economic opportunities on offer from low-carbon liquid fuels, with the agriculture industry able to be front and centre of this investment. And this wouldn't be possible without the innovation and expertise from all of you here today and across our industry. Australia's agricultural strength comes from not only our world-class producers, but also our scientific excellence and decades of deliberate investment in research, innovation and adoption. Australia's Research and Development Corporation system is a cornerstone of this capability, linking research and development to real-world outcomes. That's why we're investing more than $500 million toward AgriFutures and the 15 regional development corporations in agriculture in the last financial year. Our Research and Development Corporation system is envied across the globe. However, we must continue to evolve the system so it can meet the new challenges and opportunities that agriculture faces. I see AgriFutures here as playing a role in meeting these new challenges, as well as supporting the coordination and linking of research across this system. Through stronger alignment with government and industry priorities and enhanced collaboration on the big issues, we'll be on track to go well beyond the industry's goal of $100 billion in value by 2030. Of course, before I wrap up this morning, I do want to acknowledge a number of our communities here in Victoria and indeed in Queensland are recovering from recent natural disasters. I was on the ground here in Victoria last week meeting with impacted operators in the Bendigo region following the recent fires. And I'll be in Queensland later today and over coming days to inspect the ongoing cleanup and recovery efforts post-floods. The Albanese Labor government, alongside the state governments and local governments, has announced millions in targeted support for our farmers, our producers and our ag businesses in these regions. And my strong message to those impacted, as well as those communities that are recovering and still may be in drought, we'll have your back at every stage of recovery. With that, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to join you this morning at evokeAG. This is an important couple of days that you come together and collaborate on how we can use technology to continue strengthening this great sector. Australian agriculture has an incredibly positive story to tell, and it's one that we'll continue to share on the global stage. I'm very proud to be able to say Australian farmers are some of the most productive, some of the most innovative, use some of the least fertiliser and have the lowest emissions on the planet. Innovation underpins the success of agriculture, which is why we're going to continue to back the bold ideas, the solutions and the creativity that will ensure we can continue to grow an industry that touches people in every corner of this country and increasingly across the entire globe. Every day, I'm inspired by the people in our industry and I want them to know that the government will continue to support you. Thanks for having me today. Thanks very much.